first, it felt like I was getting, like a cup getting filled up with water. The first thing that was weird to me, it felt like somebody kind of hovering over me, but it felt like something, like you know how you slap your face, but you got barely hit it.
Okay.
And I felt
Kind
something
of
go in my
violent,
body
man.
like that. So that was kind of, that happened.
Right.
Then it kind of put me out. But the biggest highlight with me was, other than the pulsating of the body, the energy, I bumped into a huge woman, a big human, and it was like big pythons. Her body was made of pythons and snakes. And it was like, you know how dreads is, it was wrapped. And she kind of kicked it with me for a minute. I can't really remember what we talked about, but I didn't know who she was. I was trying to look up things, but she was a woman, beautiful woman, but she was all snakes. All snakes, big, huge pythons, like wrapped around each other. She grabbed me, and I was kicking it with her for a minute, and next thing you know, I was out. So a lot of stuff I didn't remember much, but and through the whole week it was just pulsating energy and a lot of stuff that I can't really describe. I'm not good at describing things that I don't have a knowledge of. I can hit around it, but I had some weird things, this stuff hovering over me, just a whole bunch of stuff. So, and that's all other than that.
Okay. Well, you definitely had some definitive action, and this goes for all of you again. A lot of the things that you're going to experience, that doorway is going to come wide open. And a lot of what you're going to experience is not going to be found on YouTube or the World Wide Web. It's way too expansive for that. So you're going to have to rely on what it is that you're seeing, lock it in, receive it, embrace it, and make it part of your reality, because it is. Now, that being that you saw is someone that you know on another dimension that is nothing to do with our mechanics. When we start working with other modalities such as this, different doorways in our awareness opens up and we see things that don't exist here. Then you're going to have the challenge of accepting that. And your human default program is going to want to excuse it away and say, I didn't just see that, or I think I saw this, because that's the main thing. And I said, no, allow yourself to lock that in. You saw it. It was real. So when someone says, I think or I feel, they're trying to process the reality of what they experienced. And like I said yesterday, imagination is not a real premise.
I was kind of fearful, and Spirit just was like, relax, there's no need to fear. What you constantly fearing is yourself, your own power. And I just started seeing visions of some real blacker than any black I've ever seen, liquid. And it was a black angel. The angel was black like the liquid, just standing there. And
Did he have wings?
Uh-huh.
What color were the wings?
It was completely black.
And how tall would you say the angel was?
It was big.
Okay. Okay.
And it was a large black dragon. And I was told the dragon was me. And my second one, it was the black liquid again, and a golden like staff came out. And it was round and shining gold.
Right.
And it was serpents and dragons. And it's all black liquid and stuff. And this light came, like I was doing that second tongue, and I was like in a trance, like I was counter-conscious and that counter-wrong, and I was just, and it just felt like a light was beaming from my head, and I was just moving like, I don't really know how to describe that.
You just did.
It felt great.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Did you see what color the light was that was coming from?
It was a golden light.
That's a very, very good thing, by the way. It's great.
Last night with the diamond, I seen pink diamonds. Then with the crystalline, it was crystal people coming to me. It was lines and lines of them. And my birth trauma, I think I seen myself as my father's sperm going into my mother's egg.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
It was so much. I don't know. It was a lot. It was a lot. I wrote down some, but
That's powerful.
I seen mermaids and a lot of dragons and a lot of black liquid.
Mm-hmm.
It's like constant blackness, and then I see gold shining specks in the blackness.
Mm-hmm.
A golden light, darkness, blackness. And then when I did the location one, it was like a golden beam went out to get, I feel like it was a higher part of me, and it was a spider. And she attached to my head, started dumping stuff in my head.
Mm-hmm.
And a black, I want to say octopus. Now, the spider eggs was golden, and the octopus had red eggs coming from the bottom of me, and the spider came to the top. And they like mixed together, and just the balance part balanced them out, and my body was jerking and stuff last night.
How much was it jerking?
Quite a bit.
Okay. So, how long have you been aware that you're a mystic?
I don't know what no mystic is.
Okay. A mystic is someone who is aware and able to interface with other dimensions of their self, and you're doing that, and they're showing you that.
Whenever I go to do stuff, like my son is on the spiritual path, and I start doing stuff that he advised me to do, it's like I be leap years out there, and I'm just trying to take one step, and I'm like, whoa, why is it coming to me so fast? If I'm just taking a baby step, why am I all out in another galaxy or something, and I'm just taking a step?
Okay. I'm gonna tell you something. Have you ever been on the highway and there were 4 lanes, and the lane all the way to the left is which lane?
What time is it?
No. When you're in a freeway or highway and you're driving in the left lane, there's 4 lanes or 3 lanes going in the same direction. Which lane is the one that's all the way on the left?
I don't know.
Okay, anyone?
Fast lane, low lane, fast lane, low.
Fast lane, passing lane. So this goes for you metaphorically. You're driving slow in a fast lane. That can cause accidents, and it can F up the traffic. People will be beeping behind you, or they will. So the energy that you have is a lot more advanced than you're giving your consciousness a chance to interact with. That's why it's happening. And the gold lights that you're seeing are very primordial. That's a primordial signature. The blackness is where diamonds come from. It's what outer space is made from. It's carbon, and that is the incubator, and what's on the other side of that are diamondic properties, which are very, very powerful. And you're not using any of that to the degree that you could. So we're definitely going to have to talk, because the best metaphor that I can give you is, if you're traveling in a vehicle that's capable, you have a Maybach Mercedes, they have 12 cylinders and they can go about 200 miles an hour. I put a video on Facebook and I was driving 120 just to see how far or how fast it could go. And the car, it felt like I was doing 80, but my point was that I was pushing the car to its ability. Your ability is far greater than what you've been allowing Do you ever feel that way?
I'm scared of the power.
Exactly, and that's the problem. So you're going to have to, this will help you to a certain degree, but I really want to talk to you about that because you didn't come here to take baby steps, and that's what you're doing. So I want you to think about taking your training wheels off because you can do a lot more, and you will. And you have nothing to be afraid of because you're not a demon. You have a lot of protection and you have a lot of power that you're not using. So this has been one of the steps that you've taken to unlock it. And what a lot of people go to mystery schools for, you already have it.
I started feeling really warm all over, and then it was a tingling sensation up my spine, and I was transported to the volcano in Hawaii, and I saw the goddess Pele. She put a lei on me, and then she put her hands over mine. I started seeing all kinds of colors and shapes, and it was almost like a kaleidoscope, and then it just kind of faded away.
You mean symbols?
Okay, I received that.
Okay.
I received that.
Right.
And it just faded away. The second attunement, again, the sensation up my back and a lot of pressure in my head. Actually, I saw you in that one.
Mm-hmm.
Then the third attunement, the birth trauma, I actually felt the sensation of the umbilicus being cut, and I felt left alone.
Mm-hmm.
That was traumatic,
Yes.
that whole feeling. And then in the diamond one, I felt, I saw a double tetrahedron diamond being placed in my crown. So those were basically the highlights.
That's powerful. So you, have you ever talked to your parents about your birth?
Not really.
Okay. How do you feel about that? Because what I can tell you is you've been carrying around the event of your birth all of your life, and you've been feeling that melancholy all your life, haven't you?
Yes, I have. I have a picture of my mother with me as a baby, and she has that melancholy look.
She passed that on to you,
Yeah.
actually. She's still alive.
Yes, she is.
Okay. You should have a talk with your mother, and I want you to give your mother, I want you to start giving treatments to your mother to help her heal as well, because she passed that imprint on to you. And I want you to stop that cycle. Do you have children?
No.
Okay. That's one of the reasons why you never had children. Because another part of your consciousness did not want your children to suffer with that feeling. And for you to be carrying that sense of aloneness from whence you came into this world, that's horrible.
It has been.
I definitely feel it. And one of the good thing is that birth trauma Reiki is configured into this modality to deal specifically with your kind of situation.
Okay.
There's a lot of people like, what's birth trauma? I'm like, well, all of us have, some of us have varying degrees, but you are a quintessential example of why birth trauma Reiki exists.